Walls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I stalled, paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear, quick, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. Dreams in paradise. Truth is what you can see.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour Women Only Wednesday. And of course, I'm coming to you today from Santa Fe Family Life Center, where we have a bunch of different things that they offer, and we'll get into that as we go on. But anyway, just here we had lunch. Had the lunch every once a month. Whoever's birthday, they do once a month on a Wednesday. Do a birthday lunch for everyone, and Bandy's was the choice today. Even though they forgot my food, and then brought me my turkey baked potato without a lot of stuff. They forgot it, then they brought it. Didn't have any utensils. Thank you, Bandy's, for a not so great lunch today. Instead, I was here, and I could have been either at Rococo's or Ned's or anywhere, but here VZD's, which in fact I've got to go over there to try their lunch over there. So, but anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. We're gonna get right into it. Man, the Baker Mayfield saga continues, which drives me nuts because. Baker, the number one overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner. I've never been that big of a fan of Baker Mayfield. Most of you all who know me know that I have not. I just never liked the way that he acted. To me, he has a chip on his shoulder, which of course he does because he was at Tech. Patrick Mahomes comes, he's gone, walks on at OU, and then of course benefits from Lincoln Riley and Bob Stoops. So when Bob was the coach, Coach Stoops was the coach, and then Lincoln Riley took over, I believe, his last year or 2 years or whatever. And then anyway, and I do believe, like I've always said, that I think that if Baker had not been sick, that OU probably would have won the national championship that year. I felt they had a better team, and Baker was playing on adrenaline that first half against Georgia and came back out. And Baker, one thing about Baker, he was always extremely accurate. And he threw the ball all over the place. He was not accurate. He could not hit a wide receiver. I mean, guys breaking Mark Andrews right over the middle. He's throwing it 10 yards over his head. And so you could just tell Baker was not Baker. So, but then, of course, I wasn't a fan of him and what he did at Ohio State. I think that if Coach Stoops had been the coach, he would have never went over there and did that. And that's not something that you do at the University of Oklahoma. That's something you do at Texas Tech, or that's something that you do at TCU or somewhere like that. That's what you do there. You do not do that at the University of Oklahoma. You don't do that at Alabama. You don't do that at Notre Dame. You don't do that in Nebraska. There's several schools that you just don't go and you don't do that when you beat an opponent. And everybody goes, oh, well, OU did da-da-da-da, Ohio State did whatever the year before. That's fine and that's dandy, but you still don't turn around and you don't come in and you don't do that. You plant a flag. I mean, hey, we won. But then, he's throwing the ball at, people's heads and grabbing his crotch and doing the finger, stuff like that. I mean, that does not translate on the next level. That's okay if you're at a junior high school, but you're at the University of Oklahoma. You need to act like it. He did not do that. That's one of the things that set me back on him, being a former athlete who was pretty decent in his own right. I believe that you hold yourself to a certain standard depending on where you are as far as the leader on the team and as far as where your standards are as far as yourself. So that being said, I've always thought that once, just like him or just like, any athlete, you get to the point where if they don't need you anymore, and your lack of ability goes down, all that little childish crap that you were doing comes to a head, and that's exactly what happened with Baker. All that came to a head, and what they said, "See you later, bro. We're done with you," and that's basically what's happening. But on the other side of that is, do teams want him? Yes. Does Cleveland? I believe Cleveland is holding on to him for two reasons. One, you have to offer them a lot, and two, they're waiting on to see what happens to Sean. Now, the fallacy with the Cleveland Browns is this. What makes you think that you can pay Baker? You're going to have to pay Baker a lot of money to get Baker to step up, to get Baker to want to play for you guys, to step foot in that locker room again. What are you going to offer Baker? I mean, you're already paying him $18 million. Is that going to be enough for him? That wouldn't be enough for me. After the way you treated me, you're going to give me way more than that. You're going to have to sign me to a long-term deal. You're going to have to give me money. And they can't afford to do that. But Baker, what incentive does he have to come back and play? What incentive does he have to walk in that locker room? And it all depends on what happens with Deshaun. Is Deshaun going to be suspended 8 games, or is he going to be suspended 6 games, or the whole year? And, the way things are looking, it's probably the whole year to me. I thought it was 8 games. But after this 24th allegation came out and he addressed it, and I just don't know how much I believe any athlete when they address something. To me, step up, take full responsibility right at the front, get it over with, move on. I mean, it doesn't do you any good to keep doing it the way and denying it all. It does just go ahead and get it over with. Dude, 66 times. There's got to be something in there somewhere. Now, do I think that you went out and you hurt women on purpose or did something to degrade them or whatever? No, I don't think that at all. But do I think you made women uncomfortable? That is clear as day. Did you do some things that you probably shouldn't have did? That seems clear. But on the other flip side of that, did you do anything criminal? 2 grand juries have said no. So if you're the Cleveland Browns, what do? You have Baker Mayfield, which I think Baker has talent. But like I've said all along, he hurt himself by trying to bet on himself, kind of like what Dak did. Dak tried to bet on himself. He got hurt, and he just hurt himself worse than he could sit out the year, which ended up being the best thing for Dak because once he sat out, the Dallas Cowboys were nothing, and what did they have to do? Pay him. Baker Mayfield, you got hurt. Instead of you trying to get that extra money, just go ahead and sit out. Go get your surgery early in the middle of the season like you should have. If you do that, then, okay, you're set. But what is hindsight? 2020. We can look back, said shoulda, woulda, coulda, but he did not. It's just frustrating for him. It's frustrating for me as a fan of sports. Like I said, I'm not that big a fan of his, but on the other side of that, I do believe that Baker is definitely one of the top 15 quarterbacks in this league. And I think that Baker has an opportunity to do some good things for somebody. But the question is he going for a job or is he going for a career? What is he doing? Because if you go to Carolina, how good of a job is that really? I mean, think about that for a second. How really good of a job is that at Carolina? Or is that a career? I mean, you do have Christian McCaffrey. You have a decent defense. You have some pretty decent average to good wide receivers. But, of course, what we've seen with Baker is Baker needs a running game and he needs play-action pass. If he can do the play-action pass, Baker is supreme. But once his 2 running backs got hurt, Chubb and Kareem Hunt, Baker, he made some poor, terrible decisions. Now, was a lot of it him pressing because he was hurt? Yes. Did he put more pressure on himself? Yes. Because of that chip he has on his shoulder. But I was arguing with somebody the other day, they were talking about how he's better than Patrick Mahomes. I said, you're out your mind. I said, if Patrick Mahomes had been at the University of Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley and Bob Stoops, OU wins the national title. I don't think that goes, to me, that's not even up for discussion, that OU wins the national title. They were loaded. They had talent. I think they win easily. But that's just me. Now, speaking of the Cowboys, let's talk about Dak. I wish my boy Drew was on today so we could get into full discussion about how I feel about the Cowboys because I'm just laughing. How are you going to run Dak Prescott more? Both times he's been hurt is because him run, and you're going to run him more. Now, granted, if he's being chased in the pocket, he's flushed out the pocket, hey, Dak, run down the field, get down. Learn how to slide better. Get down. That's what you do. But you don't run plays for Dak to run the ball on purpose, and you're paying him how much? How many 40 what million? And you want to do what? But once again, is this the Cowboys trying to make themselves relevant? Now I was listening to Colin Cowherd the other day, and he's talking about that he's pumping the Rams as America's team. The Rams are not America's team. Stop it. Get off your high horse. America's team is the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to always be the Dallas Cowboys. It is what it is. It's the moniker that's stuck with them. That's not going to change. It's not going to change. No matter how much you love Sean McVay and the Rams. The Rams they haven't done enough to be America's team. They've had 1 year they won the Super Bowl. The 2 out of 3 they've gone, and let's face it, they got killed. The Patriots and one of the worst Super Bowls ever. Both teams, they shouldn't have been in. How the hell that's not a pass interference against the Saints? I still don't know. The NFL is just one. I mean, you have instant replay. The guy pushed him in the back, didn't even look at the ball. How is that not pass interference under the definition of your rules? But did you want the Rams to go to the Super Bowl or the Saints? Clearly, you wanted the Saints. But again, back to the Cowboys. I just look at that and I'm going, what are y'all thinking? Mentally, how do you even come to this conclusion? Why would you run your quarterback who you're playing, clearly y'all don't have any backups, that you want to take a chance on him getting hurt? And you just gave him $75 million last year, or he's getting $75 million this year. What are you doing? I don't understand it. Sometimes the Cowboys, they do things and they say things, and I understand it's just about them being relevant. I get that, but that makes zero sense to me why you would even bring that up, why you would even want to attempt to run Dak Prescott more. And he's older. And the older you get, the less you run, which is my dilemma about Lamar Jackson. You're a running quarterback. They're offering all you this money. And by all rights, the Browns set the ceiling at $230, guaranteed. Patrick Mahomes don't even get a guarantee, even though we know his money's guaranteed. He ain't going nowhere. He's going to get all of his $500 million. Let's face it, he's going to probably end up with more than that because they're going to restructure his contract. But he's going to get all that $500 million. We all know that. So, but as it stands right now, $230 million is the starting point, guaranteed dollars for Lamar. Now, has he worked that? No, he runs. Am I willing to pay Lamar 4 years or 5 years, $40 million a year? 4 years, $50 million, which is what it's more like. Am I willing to pay him that? No. And actually, it's more than that because if it starts at $230, you got to do his whole contract's had to be guaranteed, all of it. So what is that? 4 years at $50 million is only $200 million. 5 years at $50 million is what you're going to be looking at. Is he worth $50 million? No. But you're going to have to guarantee all that that first $230. So all of his money's going to be pretty much guaranteed. And then the next man up, who is that? Where do you start with him? Now, it has to be somebody on that level, but who is the next one up for that? What are you going to pay Joe Burrow? He's getting every bit of $250 million guaranteed because of that contract. There's no question. And remember, the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals is cheap. Who's next after that? Because, Patrick's already been paid. Josh Allen's already been paid. So you already know what's going to happen. But somebody's going to have to take it on the chin because the Browns have just blown up the quarterback market. I'm going to take a break on that. I just can't. This day is just crazy to me. Well, I want to thank my sponsors at Collaborative Logic. If you got any IT needs, these are your people that you go see. my boy Russell over there. If you've got any computer needs or anything going wrong, those are the people. They can come right out. They can. The thing I love about it, they can do the remote access where they remote into your system and take care of any needs remotely. I really, really like the fact they can do that. You can call my guy Mark Long over at SRB Engineering and Surveying and Planning. And, of course, Jose Fierro at Oak Grove Trucking. Now he's got two dump trucks for you. And, of course, Greg and Max Nafee. And like I said, today I'm over at Santa Fe Family Life Center. And, of course, here are all the things they've got going at 6300 North Santa Fe. Call 405-840-1817, or you can go online at sfflc.com for more information there. Pool ships available, and memberships are starting at $34.99, which can include the pool and fitness. And you can see behind me when I go to the remote network, when you can see me in the back, that you'll be able to notice behind me. There's the courts, or the two courts 1 and 2 are behind me. Back there all the way back is the fitness center. Over to the right of that is there's 2 tennis courts and also pickleball courts and badminton that they have. Then, of course, directly behind me is where they're doing all the weights. So, but anyway, great facility. If you want to come up, you can come in, just get up front, and they'll take you on a tour. But $34.99 starting memberships. It's cheap as it can come. It's easy. It's right off of 235 or Broadway Extension and 63rd. So it's really easy to get to. So now, one thing is going on. I don't know if you saw it last night. I do not have my USA jersey on. I had it on yesterday because the USA was playing El Salvador at El Salvador in just a rain. The field was just, it was just a mess there last night. USA had their opportunities, but it looked like they were out of sync early. And El Salvador scored a quick goal on them. Of course, the USA comes back and ties the score. So I was good. I was happy to see that. But, what a game that it was. We did not play our best, unfortunately for us. I was sad about that, but we did get out with a 1-1 tie. And remember, we are very, very, very young. So that being said, we do have the opportunity to get better. And we have to play as many games as we can because we will be the youngest team in the World Cup starting this November. And, of course, we'll talk about that more, but we got some more upcoming games. And as we get closer to that, we'll promote soccer because one of the things we're doing on our show, or my show, is we want to promote other sports. There's more than basketball. There's more than football. There is baseball, or more than basketball, baseball, and football. Okay? There's soccer. There's golf. There's tennis. There's other things that we want to promote other than just doing this or just the big sports. And unlike a lot of people, I believe that Oklahoma fans are extremely knowledgeable sports-wise. And they want to know what else is going on besides those things. Now, you do have your core group of people who just only concerned about OU football, OSU football, OU football, and OSU football. That's all they care about. They don't care about baseball. They don't care about golf. They don't care about – now, they are caring more and more about OU softball. But for the most part, they care about OU football and then somewhat OSU football. But primarily, that's all they care about. And then, of course, the Dallas Cowboys and the Chiefs, depending on where you're at. But the majority of fans, I do believe, in Oklahoma are Cowboys fans. So, anyway, we're going to concentrate more and more on the different sports. And not just that. Now, remember, the U.S. Open starts tomorrow, and the TV viewing schedule is very simple. You can do it on the Peacock, USA, or NBC. And, of course, the Peacock and the Golf Channel will be airing that. And then, of course, the featured groupings tomorrow, the ones I really want to see, I do want to see the 7:29 Eastern Time, which is 6:30, and I don't know if I'm going to be up that early to watch Jordan Spieth, Adam Scott, and Max Homa, but that's going to be a really good one. I'll probably watch the back nine of all three of these first ones. I really want to see Rory, Hideki, and Xander Schauffele. That's going to be a really good one. I'm looking forward to watching that. Then, of course, definitely be watching Justin Thomas, Victor Hovland, OSU, good boy, a good guy from OSU. and Tony Finau. Now remember, Justin and Tony and Rory just had an epic showdown last week. So that's going to be interesting to watch that in the RBC Canadian Open. And then I don't really care about Dustin Johnson, nor do I watch Phil Mickelson. I don't really care for either one of those, so I will not be watching either one of those matches play. But like I said, I will be watching the Justin Thomas, Victor Hovland, and Tony Finau. I'll probably be watching that one more than I'll be watching the back half of the Rory Hideki and Xander Schauffele, because I'm a huge Xander Schauffele fan. I really like him, and I do like Colin Morikawa. I do like him as well. But so anyway, and I like John Rahm. So I'll watch the probably second half of those for sure. Morikawa and Rahm. I'd say the more intriguing of those three would be the Speed, Scott, and Homa. All three of those, that's going to be interesting how they do. But I'm not going to be up at 6:30 to watch that. Like I said, or the Rory, Hideki, and Xander. I'll watch probably the back nine of that, or I'll probably wake up around 8ish, so I'll watch that part. But I'm not going to get up at 6:30 just to watch those play. So now, if it was Tiger, I'd probably watch it because, of course, when he was at the at the PGA, I did get up at the crack to go watch him hit some golf balls on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I could see that he was getting tired after 3. And then, of course, we went to my favorite spot over at 17, where you got that perfect view of the 18th fairway and green at Southern Hills, which is one of the most beautiful sights that there were. But I want to take this opportunity right now to thank my guys at YNB, family owned and operated since 1912, the bank that makes things happen. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com for you to watch or you to go for any loans as far as cars, houses, any of that stuff, commercial real estate. They would be more than happy to direct you and help you get with that. So that's the YNB, family owned and operated since 1912, the bank that makes things happen. Remember, www.ynbok.com. Some of my favorite people, been banking with them since my freshman year. In fact, that was my first real job, was working there at YNB when it was called Yukon National Bank, the bank that makes things happen. So anyway, we've got some good stuff now. Let's get into my favorite sport. Of course, y'all already know what that is. That's basketball. The thing's been going around the story today whether the Lakers should be blown up. LeBron has basically made his feelings known that he wants to be traded, he's okay if he's traded. And it's funny to me. It's like, dude, you're supposedly the GOAT. You didn't like Cleveland. You got out of Cleveland. You went to Miami, chase your rings. You got your rings. You come back to Cleveland, and you need to thank Draymond Green for kicking you in the balls, because y'all were not beating them that second time, forcing them to go get Kevin Durant. And because I don't believe that they would have been able to beat you and Kyrie had they not gone to get Kevin Durant. So Draymond can say what he wants, but y'all went and got Kevin Durant because you knew you had to have somebody who could match LeBron, and that was more than KD, because you guys do what you do. You disappear, Steph disappears, Clay disappears 1 or 2 games a series, and KD was able to make up for you all's deficiencies. And when y'all went non-existent, KD was able to keep up the slack and keep y'all in the game. So LeBron, I look at him and I'm like, dude, bye. I'm a Laker. Bye. Get out. I didn't want you in the first place. And like, had the Lakers drafted well in the first damn place, Jason Tatum would be a Laker. He would not be a Celtic, because they went to the outside pressure. They got Lonzo Ball, and then what? Lonzo Ball. You could have had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the 2 guys that Boston had, because the Lakers picked the slot directly in front of Boston. And both guys that you took, or neither one of them are there anymore at the Lakers. One of them, I can say he and Jaylen Brown, he's probably a little bit better than Jaylen Brown, but Lonzo Ball is not better than Jason Tatum. And when they picked him, I'm like, what are you doing? What were you looking at? And part of the Lakers' problem has been their management at upper level and their ability to pick people. Because when you look at Golden State, what does Golden State do? They draft properly. They draft the right guys to fit their system. They don't care about who's saying this guy should be this guy. They don't care about none of that. They go get the guy who's going to fit what they want to accomplish. That's what they go do. Like when they traded for, we talked about this on the show, me and Drew, my boy Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. We talked about that. We talked about how the Golden State traded for Andrew Wiggins. Why would you do that? Because they knew they were getting Jordan Poole. They knew they got Kuminga. They knew what kind of team that they were going to have. So what did they do? They drafted really, really well. Because what do good teams do? They draft well. Because when you think about what they're going to do after this year, you got to get rid of somebody. So do you get rid of Wiggins because if you got Wiseman and Kuminga coming up? Do you get rid of them because of that, or do you keep them? What do you do for that? Because both of those guys can play. But you can't keep Steph, you can't keep Clay, and you can't keep Draymond and Poole and Wiggins. You can't do it. And let's face it, without Wiggins, it would be impossible for you to do it. Now, I did see a thing where they're talking about Golden State, Draymond, Clay, and Steph have 30 playoff wins. Okay, that's great, but let's face it, without Kevin Durant, you wouldn't have had those. Let's tell the truth right now. Without Kevin Durant, you wouldn't have had them. Let's put everything in perspective here. Kevin Durant gave you 8 of those wins. Right? I mean, everybody knows that. So when you look back and you go, okay, what do you do? If it's not for Andrew Wiggins, you wouldn't have a 3-up 3-2. You definitely wouldn't have beat Memphis. So without that, I mean, how many wins is that? Now you seem to be getting rid of people, but you keep your main 3 because your main 3 is your main 3. I get that. But at some point, what is Draymond really giving you anymore? Compared to what is Wiggins giving you? And you got a young group coming up. But I do understand loyalty, but the thing is this, they draft well. The Lakers, on the other hand, do not draft well. And remember, the draft is a week from tomorrow. And the Thunder is on the clock. And the Thunder hopefully will not make the same mistake that the Lakers made. The Lakers folded under pressure and, LeVar, and you want to take Lonzo Ball, over Jason Tatum. What are you thinking? And the Lakers had to go get LeBron and AD and trade away the farm. And then this year, remember last year, you would have had Caruso and KCP. You'd have had your whole team where you were one of the top defensive teams in the league. And then you add Buddy Hield, who can shoot the ball, which is what you needed. Then you add a DeMarco Rosen, who's giving you a nice mid-range. But instead, you go get Russell. You squash the Buddy Hield trade so you could get your boy Carmelo. Because your arrogance said that y'all were going to win the championship. That's how we're going to win this together. You're old. You couldn't play defense. You couldn't guard nobody. Traded away the farm again to get what you wanted, and look what happened. I mean, think about the team. Caruso, KCP, Buddy Hield, can't think. My mind just went blank. LeBron, AD, and DeMarco Rosen. Plus your X in the hole is Kyle Kuzma, because Kyle Kuzma could go get you 30 or he could go get you 40, because everybody remembers when they had no AD and no LeBron here, and he beat Oklahoma City up for 40. So you had that. You had that as well. And you threw all that away because you thought you could win the championship. Now you want out because the team sucks. And remember, you went to 8 straight finals in the East, and everybody said, oh, man, you in the East. Come to the West. You've made the playoffs 2 out of 4 years. 2 out of 4 years you made the playoffs in the West after going 8 straight or whatever you did in the East. That was the East, man. This is the West. Not the same. And the Thunder are facing the same proposition right now because you have an opportunity to pick up what? Who is coming? You want Chet? Chet is not going to help us. No way. We've seen what Chet is. We got Poku. That's Chet. And he's bigger than Chet is. And you see he not the one in this league. But we're going to talk about that more again tomorrow on After the Storm for our Thunder Thursdays. But back to the Lakers. Do you blow up the Lakers? Sure you do. The problem is nobody wants Russell. And I love how he came back and did his little deal, trying to bid to get his butt back here. We don't want you here. Why would we want you? We've got a good group of young talent. And you going to come in here and just blow up everything? We going to give up SGA for you? No. We moved on. You moved on. We moved on. You gone. There's a reason why you're going to be in 5 teams in 5 years. And Oklahoma City fans need to understand, you are the reason we lost KD. You are the reason that we lost Ibaka. You are the reason that our team blew up and we lost everything. You are the reason. You are the reason. How, to me this day, how Oklahoma City picked him over Russell over Kevin Durant, to me, is still a no. That one just blows me away. I still can't understand that. Frustration levels at its peak. We're going to take a break and come back and look at, here are other shows that we have on the MC Sports Network. Excited about that. The Unpopular Hour. The Unpopular Hour, Women Only Wednesday, which is today. After the Storm, Thunder Thursdays. Now, remember, after the Storm, once the Thunder season starts, we'll start about 45 minutes after every Thunder game. We will be doing the show. Sometimes we'll be doing it remotely, sometimes not, kind of depending on what the weather is. And then, of course, we come on every day right now, weekdays at 2 p.m. And you can find us at mcsportsnetwork.com. That's www.mcsportsnetwork.com. Just click on that, and then it'll bring up all 3 shows, whether you want to watch the Unpopular Hour, After the Storm, or Women Only Wednesday. All those shows will be there. You can click on it, and it will take you to our YouTube page. And if you want to look at us on the excuse me, YouTube, what you do is you go to YouTube, you log in. Remember, you have to log in, and you want to subscribe, you want to like, and if you hit the notifications. And if you hit notifications, every time we pop on, boom, you get a notification that one of the shows is on there. Now, to find us on the MC Sports Network, you type in the Unpopular Hour - Matt Clark. It pops right up. If you want to do Women Only Wednesday, Unpopular Hour, Women Only Wednesday, boom, it pops up. Or if you want to watch After the Storm - OKC Thunder, it pops up. So either one of those you go to, and remember, subscribe, like, and hit notification button, and then it will pop up, and then you'll get to see all the shows. But the easiest way to do it is just watch us. Anytime you want to watch us, is just go to www.mcsportsnetwork.com, and it will be more than happy to click on one of those, and you'll be able to watch all of our shows. And in fact, I believe this is our 18th week doing Women Only Wednesday. We've done 51 shows for the Unpopular Hour, and I forget how many we've done for the Thunder, because I know we did probably, I want to say, the last 30 games of the Thunder season last year. And if you remember how this all got started, people were asking me about my opinion on the Thunder. And so I would tell people my opinion, like, man, why don't you just spread that out? And so I decided to talk to my boy Mark Long and Randy Wright. We're like, hey, man, you should do the show. So I did. And that's how we got started with the Unpopular Hour, to come on and talk about sports, because you as Oklahomans are knowledgeable. And the more people, you kind of know what you feel about it, but you not necessarily know how right you are. And it's always nice to have somebody confirm what you're already thinking, which helps you, because there's so much information out there. And there's a lot of things out there now. Remember, I don't work for the Thunder. Now, I do like the Thunder, and I'm a huge Thunder fan, but I do not work for the Thunder. So if I see a team or if I see something wrong with the Thunder, I'm going to say it. When the Thunder do stuff fantastic, I'm going to say it. And that's me. I'm going to call them out when they're doing bad. I'm going to say praise them when they're doing good. That's good, honest, not necessarily journalism, but it's fair. I'm honest and fair. I'm not going to beat up anybody or talk bad about a player or say something bad about him that you don't see yourself, because you see it too. All I'm doing is bringing out what you already know or what you may suspect, and then I show you, yeah, that's exactly what you were thinking is exactly right. So that's what I do when I do my Thunder things, when I break down what the Thunder do and what they don't, what their weaknesses are and what their weaknesses aren't, how they affect change, how they don't affect change, when they're playing well. It's just like, for me, one of the good things about doing After the Storm was watching how the Thunder transformed. Because when I first started doing it, I went to some games. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to support them. I don't know anybody on the team, blah, 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 blah. Same thing that everybody else felt. Then the more I went to them, I'm like, hey, man, it's not bad. And then once I started actually breaking down the Thunder about, past midway through the season, once I started breaking down the Thunder, and I'm like, wow, okay, well, if we could do better, if we stop doing this and start doing this, if we do this, if we do that. And it just seemed like the Thunder were doing everything that I had been talking about. It seemed like they started doing it and figuring it out, and it was fantastic to watch. And I do believe that the Thunder would have won more games had SGA played more, but it ended up working out fantastic. Why? Because when you look at the NBA draft this year and you look at where we are in the draft and our playoff spots, because the NBA draft is coming up. Like I said, it's the 23rd, which is a week from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow is the NBA draft. So that's going to give the Thunder a great opportunity to pick up something nice. And but like I said, we will break down that more. And remember, the Thunder have the number 2 overall pick, the number 12 pick via the Clippers, and the number 34th. Because remember, we traded our number 30th pick for Jermichael from the stretch 4 from Denver. So that gives us a huge opportunity to get something. So I'm looking forward to that. So remember, we have the number 2, the number 12, and the number 34. And if you watch us tomorrow on After the Storm for our Thunder Thursday breakdown, you'll find out more about that and about what I'm thinking that the Thunder should do. And we got into pretty much detail, but remember, we're only a week away. We're 8 days, and tomorrow we will be 7 days. And so we'll get into more detail about the Thunder, who they should draft and why, who are the players we have currently, and how do they fit in, who we need to keep, who we shouldn't. So, and we'll recap that. But like I said, a week from tomorrow, the 23rd, is a huge day for the Thunder. And like I said, we'll break that down tomorrow. So that being said, once again, I want to thank my sponsors, Collaborative Logic. If you have any IT solutions, go to them. My guys at SRB, Mark Long, for any engineering, surveying, and planning. If you've got any kind of needs for any rocks to be or dirt to be moved, anything like that, my boy Jose Fierro at Oak Grove Trucking. He's got he's got 2 dump trucks now. Dump trucks. Like the way that sounds. Anyway, he's got 2 of those now. Then, of course, my guys, Greg and Max Napier, always having my back and always taking care of me. So I appreciate that. Now, that being said, let's get into the final part of the show, which I know a lot of you were waiting for. Tomorrow, of course, is Game 6 of the NBA Finals, Golden State versus Boston. They will be at the Celtics. Everyone knows I'm a Laker fan. I'm not a Celtic fan. It is what it is. I don't like anything Boston. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Celtics. I don't like the Red Sox because I'm a Yankees-Dodger fan, so I don't like the Red Sox, so I don't like anything to do with Boston. I will say that I do like the Boston Bruins because of Bobby Orr was actually one of my favorite hockey players. So I do like the Bruins because of him, but anything else Boston, I don't really like at all. So that being said, let's go over to my boy Drew Hinthorn and his early picks for tomorrow. Now, of course, tomorrow when we break down, he'll have his normal what is it, his normal first quarter, halftime, and then his over under because he's been absolutely fantastic in what he's been doing with his drafts. Let me see, where's Drew now? He said, let me see. What is he now? Oh, he went 4-2 last night. That's what he was sending me a deal. Oh, I went 4-2 last night. I'm like, whatever, dude. You know, he's always bragging about where he's at and what he's got going on. He cracks me up with that, but he is my dude, and he is doing really well. And like I said, what is he now? 48 or 49 and something stupid. He's like 48 and 49 and like 23, 24. Something crazy is what he is. So, but anyway, you know, you want to go to his site at www.huskerdrewpicks.com. That's www.huskerdrewpicks.com if you want to look at his stuff and be able to make some money because he's been on fire lately. But anyway, his early picks is Celtics -4, the Golden State Celtics game over 210. Even though I'm still not a fan of that. I'm Golden State. I know Celtics going to have to score a lot of points in order to win. I just don't know if they're up to it yet. The Braves -195. The Giants -200. My Yankees, baby. Yes, over 7. Of course they're going to do that. And then them ugly Red Sox, I don't care if they win or lose, but that ain't my deal. This is Drew's Husker Drew Picks thing, not mine. And then the Cubbies -137. What's up, brother?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, just didn't know if you were coming on today. I just saw your text.
And so I sent you come in to tell in and pat myself on the back for another winning evening.
Yes, I said how you were 4-2.
54 and 27.
Oh, is that what it is? It's 54 and 27.
Yeah. In case you're keeping track, which
you're keeping track. I'm not necessarily keeping track. I know you are keeping track. I'm not really keeping track, but I'm glad you're keeping track.
I was listening to you rail on our Lakers a little bit. I'm all for it. Let's trade LeBron for Klay Thompson straight across the board.
Straight across. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. But you know he wants to be over there so bad. I mean, I'm so over him, Drew. I am so over him, man. I mean, we didn't want you to. I didn't want him to be a Laker. I didn't want him to be one. And so you know that was him and. You know, he's got his dream. He's went out and made his money. He's now a billionaire, and he made, $121 million since he moved to L.A.? So, yeah, he's got all of his stuff set, and now he's talking about he wants to own a team and, you know, blah,
Which
blah,
he probably
blah.
will.
Well, he's going to have to get some guys with some more money. $1 billion ain't going to get you an NBA team. You better get a little bit more. You better get a couple more of those guys with some billions behind their name.
That'll get you Russell Westbrook at the end of the bench.
That's about right. You better have a little bit more money than that. So, but Drew, I also talked about Golden State and what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to blow that up, man. They can't keep this.
Well, they're not going to be able to keep everybody, especially if they win it, which I think they're going to. But if they win it, then these guys are really going to start asking for money.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you know, you got. I mean, the thing is with Wiggins is that. You know, you're keeping your 3. It's like they're not even considering Clay, Draymond, and Steph. And, you know, like, now you got Jonathan Kuminga, I understand, and you got Wiseman. I get that, so that kind of gives you room. And Otto Porter's playing better. Agreed, he's playing better. But none of them are Wiggins, man. Wiggins, you know, they talked about how they've won 30 playoff wins or whatever it was. Well, let me see. You got 8, KD gave you 8. And and Wiggins arguably has given you what, 5?
At least 4.
Yeah, I mean, so that's 12 right there.
A couple against Memphis and a couple against Boston.
So I'm like, okay, he's giving you W's, and then everybody who gives you W's, you're getting rid of, but you keep the 3. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, Jordan Poole might be the dime piece in that. He might be one that's on the trade block.
No, I think they're keeping Jordan.
I mean, just like you said, though, I mean, who are they not going to pay?
Yeah. I think they're going to I think they know they can get the most value out of getting rid of Wiggins. I mean, because let's face it.
Or Draymond. Draymond could be gone.
Well, Draymond
what's he really giving you?
He's building himself for his future in TV. He thinks he's a TV guy. I mean, let's face it. That's what he's doing. But what he doesn't realize is that he's getting
he
all
may
those.
retire. It wouldn't shock me if he has 1 or 2 years and he retires.
Yeah, well, his thing is I say everybody's looking at you now because you're Draymond Green that you play for whatchamacallit. Once that's done, ain't nobody gonna be paying no attention to you. Once your platform's over, ain't nobody gonna be paying attention because JJ Redick and all those guys were all jumping in it so they could get on TV because that's where they really want to be because that's where the money is really at. But ain't nobody gonna be paying attention to those guys. I mean, if you ain't on, they don't pay attention to you. They don't. Nobody cares about you unless they can see you up front, right there together. If you're trying to make millions of dollars, it's not happening. But anyway, I think they keep Jordan because you've got Kuminga, you've got Wiseman, you've got Poole, you can keep Otto around. So you've got a good young group of talent around you. And then let's face it, Steph is getting old, man. He may have a couple years left of really going hard. Because what's he now?
He
30?
Probably got 2, 3 of top flight performance, and then he'll start sliding. Nature. Father Time will catch up with everybody.
Yep, and the Father Time is undefeated because the thing about Steph, though, I try to tell people, Steph came out after his junior year. He was 21 or 22 when he came into the league.
Now, 32, 33?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So I'm like, that's when you get to that age in the NBA, that's when, you start sliding a little bit. You start
ankles starts hurting, face, back problems.
And he's been beat up already. He's got bad ankles and always has been since he got into the league. And then with Clay, he's about the same age, and and is he really going to come back? Because he's not the defender, the shooter. But with Clay, we'll see after next year. You got it. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. I'd rather him come to the Lakers. Be pissed off because you're not doing anything. Come on to the Lakers and see what you got. Come on, see what you got. But I wouldn't trade LeBron to Golden State. I wouldn't. I trade him to the East and let somebody in the East take him and trade him over there.
Trade for the Wizards.
Trade him back to Miami.
Yeah, they don't want him.
No, they don't want him.
No,
Cleveland,
they don't.
Cleveland doesn't want him.
Wonder about that problem is Cleveland.
Well, I don't know if Cleveland wants him. I mean, they got a good young group, man. They got a good. Let's face it, LeBron doesn't like young players. He likes older guys and just throws. It just drives me nuts. But let's talk about the game tomorrow. We're gonna give a little preview. I'm thinking that Steph is gonna go off. I do believe.
He's gonna get his. The law of averages probably say he's got to bounce back.
Yeah, because you and I talked about that. He's shooting so many shots right now. But did you know that Jason Tatum is shooting 40-some% from three? He's shooting only 30%. It's crazy.
That surprises me because I haven't seen him make one the last 2 games.
But he's been 7 for 14, 7 for 16, 6 for 13. So he's been right at 47%. But he can't make shots because once you put your body on him, he can't. It's not like he's strong enough to finish at the paint. You bump him a little bit. I still say
if I'm Golden State, I'll live with Jason Tatum shooting threes.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him shooting threes than driving, shooting over the top of Curry, or backing Thompson down in the lane, or backing Poole down in the lane.
I'm gonna give you a little stat. He was in the top 5 in the NBA and missed shots inside the paint, Drew, and dunks. He was in the top 5 in this series.
That may be the case.
Yep.
But this series, he's been abusing Golden State's guards in the paint.
Nope, he's only shooting 37%. I think it is. It just seems like it. But he
sure seems like it.
It seems like it, but he's really not.
I wonder what he's shooting in the paint in the games they win.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what he's bringing it. That's what's bringing his average down.
Right.
That's what's bringing.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
the
not
2
really.
games they won, I guarantee he's abusing those guards in the paint.
Yeah, but he's shooting better. He's shooting. He's shooting 47% of something for 3 and shooting 30-something.
He shoots a lot better at home in Boston than he does on the road.
Yeah, he does. I just think tomorrow night is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see what's going to go on between those two tomorrow. So, okay.
I've got an early lean with Boston -4 in the over.
Yeah, I saw that. I posted.
The NBA needs us to go 7. They
really
wanted to go 7. Sunday night, Father's Day, after the U.S. Open, settle in with your turkey sandwich and watch the game. I mean, it's it's going to happen. So.
Well, you already know. I'm after you talked about that deal, I might have to go by Ned's and have that chicken fried steak with the.
Just get the day started right with a little chicken fry.
Well, I
maybe
don't get a.
maybe a
Well, I'm excited about it
maybe
because remember this weekend. Remember, I'm going to be at. Oh, they sent me a deal. I wish I could do it. I need to post it. I'll post this tomorrow. I'm going to be at Crest, and they just sent this thing to me, so I'll put that up tomorrow. A banner for what's going to happen this weekend. So I'm excited about that with my boy Chris Tucker in his seasoning. He's
well,
going to be grilling
I'm
ribs.
looking for a Texas A&M shirt. If anyone's got one, I need one sent up here to me. I'll send you. Just private message me. I'll send you my address. I need one by Friday at 1:00.
Bro, you have to overnight that. You have to go to Amazon and overnight that, bro. That's the only way you're gonna get that. And you know you can find it Texas.
I got every Sooner fan coming out of the woodworks. I mean, come on, let's go Aggies.
Oh yeah, they've been on you, haven't they?
Oh yeah, they're talking about dogpiling already, and they haven't won a game yet.
They are hot right now, Drew. They've only lost one game, three games.
You know me. I'm just playing with it, but I've said that they're the hottest team in the tournament coming into it. They got a great draw, pretty tough draw with A&M. A&M's been playing pretty good, so that should be a good game Friday afternoon.
Well, you know the whole thing is they've had good draws, but they've been tough wins to get through those draws. Mm-hmm. But you know what? They did.
It's looking at about 101 degrees on Friday afternoon at first pitch.
Hey. I'm not a baseball. I used to play baseball. One reason why I hate it is gnats and the heat. It's you're just standing out there, man. It's just hot, man. You know.
Well, we got a monsoon rainstorm here last night, and everything's wet and muddy. And that heat's gonna kick in tomorrow.
Oh, that humidity.
You're gonna be like a sauna on Friday.
Yeah, because they play Friday at 1 o'clock. Let me see. Did I put that
Friday
in here?
At 1 o'clock.
I know I put that in here, Drew. Let me see. Oh, here it is. College World Series, Friday, June 17th. It's going to be on ESPN at 1 p.m. That's where it's at. I knew I had that thing in here.
I may just have to go. I'm thinking about going. I may not be able to get there for first pitch, but we might get a live broadcast from stands. I might be sitting out in left field.
Yeah, well, that's at 2 o'clock. So, yeah, we can do that. I mean, Ryford is giving me play-by-play updates. That'll be perfect.
Yep.
That'll be perfect. Well, I know you missed that wonderful soccer game last night. God, dude. It was hard to watch, man. It was ugly. It was raining. It was muddy. Dude, it was, grass sticking up everywhere. They were tripping us
everywhere. What happened? I was enthralled in my Atlanta Braves 13-game win streak continuing last night.
Well, we ended up tying 1-1 at El Salvador against them. But, I mean, they were tripping us, and they were getting in our heads, and they scored on us pretty quickly, and then we came back and, of course, tied it up. But
what does that mean?
It doesn't mean no. We're already set for World Cup, but we're playing against Wales. That's already set. But what this is, these are just tune-ups. And Drew, we are the youngest soccer team in the World Cup. So
that's good though, because our older guys couldn't get it done. So the younger guys, I agree. Let's go young. Get some of these guys, like you said, grow the program, grow the sport. Let these young guys get out there and play.
Yeah, because I think, just think one of our oldest guys is 24. I mean, 20, and Christian Pulisic, dude, he's a monster, man. Oh, he's good. He's good. But, you can just see he's like, let me just get through this. He plays in the Champions League. I mean, he's a monster. He's like, man, let's just get through this. We tied the score. Let's move on, and let's hook it up, in the World Cup. But we just got to get as many matches as we can under our belt, Drew, playing together and, stop some holes. Because when you play against Germany's and you play against the, Brazil, and you play, Brazil. Let me get that straight. When you get that straight, it's kind of tough. So, but anyway, so now, one thing I was going to ask you about golf. I brought that up too, Drew. Golf starts tomorrow. So, let me see, where's it at? I got my golf thing here. Tomorrow morning, feature groups. Now, I want to see Justin Thomas, Victor Hovland, and Tony Finau at 12:15, 12:14, our time, Central Time. That's the one I want to watch. I don't care nothing about Dustin Johnson, nor do I care about Phil Mickelson or watching any of them. But Jordan Spieth.
DJ's my pick to win it.
Well, then I put some money on that with you. Mm-hmm. Let's bet a little something on that.
Go out in style. I tell you, I'm trying to get you his odds right now. Let's see here.
Yeah, well, I can tell you. DJ, he don't play enough golf, man.
John Rahm is your favorite.
Yep.
Hold on, no, he's not. Never mind. No, take
John
that back. No,
Rahm,
he is.
Rory is.
John Ron and Rory are your favorites.
Yeah, but John
Morikawa.
Morikawa and Rahm.
Scotty Scheffler is a high favorite, plus 1,000.
They don't have Xander Schauffele in there or Justin. Justin Thomas for sure is in there. Got to be.
Yeah, he's in there. He's on top of the board. He's plus 1,600 for Justin Thomas. Jordan Spieth plus 1,600. Brooks Koepka plus 2,000. DJ plus 2,000. So he's in the top 10. Top 10 of the favorites.
Right. Well, I mean, DJ is just because it's DJ, But the whole thing is that, I saw a guy talking today. He said what he thinks what the PGA should do is just in the winter, they don't have a good schedule anyway. Very few players play. That's their tough time. They need to add the live golf in for the winter. Allow these players to play in the winter for that, is what they say.
Right.
Because he goes that way. They're not disrupting any of the scheduling. They're still playing on the PGA. They can go make them some money in this little tour. You really don't have anything in the fall, really anyway, worth anybody really wanting to watch. You don't have any tournaments. All your tournaments are in the spring or early winter, late winter, early in the spring and summer. So the fall is really, and it's going against football. And nobody, let's face it, you're going to watch golf or football, Drew. We're watching football.
Exactly.
College football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday. You're not watching golf. So he said that he thought it would be a good idea if they just go ahead and say, okay, bring the live in. You can go play in the winter for those events to go make you some money. And he did because he doesn't think that the Masters will go shut them off because you got too many of those CEOs who do business with Saudi Arabia. And then how you going to go, oh, well, you can't play in this deal, but yeah, we can make money off of you through our bank or through our corporation. So he said he doesn't think the Masters is going to touch it because of the simple fact that the exclusivity of their board and their members. Because, those people at that level, they all do business together. They could care less about who killed who, and they don't care nothing about that. They really don't, Drew.
Right.
They really don't. They're in about making money. That's all they care about. So I agreed with him on that. I'm like, hey, man, it's not a bad deal. Just include them in the fall. Ain't nothing happening in the fall. You can go play in these little – because that's not really golf. Shotgun start. You only put 48 people in there, no cuts. You're 3 days. Is that really golf, Drew? That ain't really. That ain't golf.
It is for me.
Well, us is 1 day.
I mean, I think I let them drink. I mean, that'd be nice.
I don't think they can drink.
Cart girls and
smoking.
Take shots on holes. I mean,
well,
let's get it done right. We're gonna do it.
Dude, I forget. I got this picture. I got to find this picture, and it had Arnold Palmer and Ben. I think it was Ben Hogan. Both of them smoking cigarettes. And then they had
Barry Switzer on sidelines.
Yeah, when he back in the day. Then they had Brooks Koepka, and I think it was Rory. Both of them were eating a banana and an orange, or drinking some sort of energy drink or something. It was like old days, new days, completely different. So, but then how's your day going, man? Good.
It's busy, man. It's we had a big storm coming through last night. I've been running since about 6:30 this morning.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. Now, hey, we're gonna go over your picks right now. You got the Braves -1.9. What is this? They're going for 14 in a row?
14 in a row
today, and then of course the Giants -200. That's a lot, Drew.
Yeah, the Royals are terrible.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes takes over as owner, and they're terrible. Yeah, that's funny.
I think that game is on. Let's just look here. Let's see what I got.
Yeah, then you got the Yankees over 7. I think that's a good deal. They're on fire. Do you think them and the Mets will both get 100 and whatever? What did they predict them to win? 120 games or something stupid?
I think the Yankees will. I don't think the Mets will.
I don't think they'll.
Mets will fold like a cheap lawn chair. They always do.
They always do, don't they? Then you got
Royals are up 2-0, bottom of the first.
How about those Royals?
Yeah.
They must be listening. They must be listening to their owner. That's what they must be doing. Patrick Mahomes must have them on the deal. Hey boys, let's go. Then you've got the Yankees over 7, the Red Sox -1. I don't even know why. I'm stop putting. Whenever you do the Red Sox, I'm not even putting them on. I'm not putting them on anymore. This is the last time I ain't doing that with the Red Sox. Then of course the Cubbies. God.
Hey, Cubs are due. It's they surely not going to get 4 games swept at home by the Padres.
Dude, I don't know who's worse. Who's worse, Drew? Who's worse?
Cubs or the Brewers? Who's worse?
Who's
Right
worse?
now, Brewers. I was looking back at my picks. I've lost 7 times in a row on the Brewers. I mean, law of averages says that eventually, if I keep picking them, they're going to win one.
And what's the other thing that it talks about? The definition of doing the same thing over and over and over.
Definition of insanity is when you do something over and over again and expect a different outcome.
I don't know how much you want to deal with that, bro.
I mean, come on. And the crazy is that they're leading their division, and they're like the second best league record in the National League.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I mean, when did I decide to start betting on when they dropped 8 out of 9? I mean, come on.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, they got it going on now, brother. That's all that matters, right?
Right. But hey, I'm not mad at it. The more games those guys in front of my Braves lose, the better for me. So.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to talk about there, my brother?
Man, I'm looking forward to the College World Series. Looking forward to a great weekend of sports. We got the College World Series coming on. NHL playoffs start again tonight, which we didn't talk about.
With the Lightning.
I like the Lightning plus the 135. If you get plus money with the Lightning, that's kind of like getting the Tar Heels plus money, or the Cowboys, or the Braves.
Isn't it funny that how they went off on Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Rams and the Avalanche, for moving the Rams out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he moved in one game. I saw this deal, Drew. When they moved from St. Louis to L.A., when they were at the Coliseum, he made double the amount of money he made by being in St. Louis, just for daily game.
Oh, yeah. Just for taxes, too, I'm sure.
And I'm just going, okay. And then he has this fantastic stadium built, which, of course, he makes 4 times the amount of money on game day than he did in St. Louis. And you'd stay in St. Louis. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's on my list of things to do is get out to that stadium.
To SoFi?
I've heard it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. And, trying to get a Super Bowl ticket. One of my buddies went out there. He took his 2 boys, Drew. $25,000 is what he spent for him and his 2 boys to go out there and watch for the weekend.
Yeah, just be lucky the Cowboys weren't in it. They were talking $50,000.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was
lower levels.
I said, how good were the seats? He goes, $25,000 worth.
I guess if you're going to go and you got that kind of loot, you might as well go.
Yeah, he said they were about midway up. He said it was nice. And he said, but, by the time you got the hotel and you paid for the food and, everything, he said, it was $25,000 is what they spent.
I'm looking forward to the weekend, man. Look, you got the NHL, you got the College World Series, you got the U.S. Open, you got the NBA Finals. I mean, I don't foresee me getting much done around the house this weekend.
Yeah, well, you don't have much. Well, you got to get everything. So when are y'all got to be out of there by July? You got 3 weeks.
July 25th is when we got to be out of there. But we got inspections getting done today, appraisals getting done next week. So it'll be we're pretty much everything's. I pretty much can't walk in my garage right now, so I'll just be
honest
sitting on my one chair, my one TV.
Now it's Trish's car. I'm assuming there's enough room for her car to be in the garage. I'm assuming her car. Wait, her car's not in the garage.
There ain't enough room for Amelia's car in the garage. But we're gonna go to the College World Series Saturday night, and
man, you need to go to the game. Go support the Sooners on Friday, man. Don't be like that, bro.
I'm gonna have to go up there for a little happy hour, a little early, little happy hour, a little 2:00. Maybe catch the last 3 or 4 innings, sneak in the back door.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna send you a Zoom link anyway, and then you can just pop on or not or whatever you want to do. And by the way,
I definitely want to get on and talk about the finals. So
yeah, and by the way, on Friday we'll be in the barbershop, and of course you'll be on. The speakers are working perfectly now, Drew. So we've got the speakers working, so they'll be able to hear everything. So it's gonna be fantastic. In fact, I'm here at Santa Fe, and I was playing our intro music, and they shut the door. I didn't think that little rap. I don't think they really got into the rap part of the song.
Yeah,
I started laughing. That's a good song. I think it's a great song, but you know how that is. All right, brother. Well, hey, be safe, my friend.
Will do. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right, my brother. That was my boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com, and appreciate him sliding on. Wasn't expecting him to come in today, so that was a really nice thing. And, of course, I'm at Santa Fe Family Life Center, Sports and Fitness Complex, 6300 North Santa Fe. And if you have any information, you can go to the website at www.fflc.com, or you can call at 405-840-1817. Memberships starting at $34.99, and pool memberships are available. And hey, it's definitely worth it. And once again, I want to thank my sponsors for doing that. And tomorrow we'll be out and about. And I want to thank my guys at Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912, the bank that makes things happen. You can go to them at www.ynbok.com. I want to thank them for allowing us to go out and do our minority and black-owned business remotes. And, of course, this Friday, we will be at our favorite barber shop for that. So, once again, I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of the Unpopular Women Only Wednesday coming to you from Santa Fe. I want to thank everybody for being here. So everybody be safe today. Keep dry, keep cool, wear sunscreen or sunblock if you're